Alright, we are back at it. I am probably, do I want to make effects? What do I want to do? I don't know, some of these are just so fun. I really want to do a healing effect. Ice would be fun. See if there's anything we can riff off of that exists in Earthbound. So, I'm not seeing any kind of heal. What do they call it in Earthbound? I can't remember, but I'm not seeing it here. Some of these are just so fun. There's also a lot of good ones on. Well, I was a big fan of these overlapping lines ones. I've actually recreated these before in code. Effects like these, you really don't need to do with images. In fact, it's probably easier to do in code. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's get Psi, Rock, and Omega. I mean, wow. So cool. Like it rotates and then it locks on and just boom. Right? This is when it lands. Then it kind of emanates. Look at all these frames. I mean, wow. And this was a super epic attack. It's like one of the most powerful attacks in the game if you're not familiar with it. And it has like different versions. So this is the first version you get. They kind of like go left and then right and then boom, 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 boom. They're just so cool. So, and the last one, I want to look at Star. Oh, we got to look at the Omega Star Storm. Omega Star Storm. It looks really cool when it's in game. Now, before I exit this page, I'm going to look at Mother 3. Let's see. Can we even, what do I have to do? Go to Game Boy Advance? Do that. And these are even better, dare I say. Wow, there's a lot of art in this. We have battle background, special effects. So here's the fire. Let's show you some of these. Here's the fire in this game, and this looks like when you cast it. So it starts big, it kind of emanates, and then you send it out. Boom, it hits. And boom, 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 boom. Very, very cool. So I love beta. Like, look at these. It's so fun. Very geometric. Anyway, I'm gonna hop off of there. I'm gonna peruse my notes and see if anything jumps out that I want to work on. How do I want to utilize these? Do we want to create it each time we want to use it? Or just maybe we have it in battle. That sounds good. But that's in the GUI. We need to open the battle. Where am I gone? So full screen effects. We want that to draw over top of everything. So it's going to be down here with screen flash. And so I'm going to just drag that under that. It's okay if it's underneath the fade. That's on a canvas layer anyway. So I think here we don't need this anymore. We'll have to do these printings. We can leave that for in case we need it. We don't want to do that. We're going to call that. I think we want to hide it by default when we set the animation. Show it. And I think when it's over, we're going to do a signal in here that when this animation is finished. Which reminds me, we need to, oh, we're not using that. We're doing it manually. So here we have to do a check if, so we call frame advance. It's going to be if frame equals frame 0 equals 0. We're going to do we're going to hide it because we're not really using that animation player yet. So we're just going to do a hide. And so we show it when we set it, we hide it, and we want to stop that timer. It's going to be, we're going to need to get a reference to that to keep it clean. We also need to do frame advance at start. We're going to do, it doesn't keep going. That should work. And now in battle, we can do, so what is it going to be? When we advance the event queue under spells, we're going to check. We can do like from usability. Just do first off, let's go up here. So it's going to be let me go back to here. And so it's basically, it's going to be, let's use the item for, no, I was in the wrong. We use the ability, and then we're going to do that dot set, let's do play. We're going to call that play. And it's going to just be ability dot name. And maybe we capitalize these so it's consistent with our abilities. And we're going to change this to play. And that should be good. So let's cast fire and let's see if this thing works. Null instance texture. Who's calling? Oh, we don't want, so we don't want that to start by default. Oops. So, oops, did not want to run that. We want to run battle. All right. So we're in battle. Llama, you just defend. We're going to cast fire on that bat. Nice. It works. Very cool. Let's try it out again. So Llama, it looks like you need to heal Tofu. So use that apple. Tofu. You're going to cast fire on that bat again. And so something I realized, I was watching this video, the recording, was that this is actually off center. If I do, if we put this in 160, you can see that I'm off. And so all I really want to do is, I mean, basically, I think for these, I'm just going to extend it. And this is going to be real simple because it's just a box, right? So we'll extend those. I need to make sure this background, yeah, we don't want this running while I'm in A-Sprite because it's, I mean, it's still freaking out. And then we have to do the same thing here. And really, I don't know why I don't need the whole thing. So we just go like that. And this, for these, I'm just going to move them over until they're center, like that. Right. And that one's fine. Obviously, it's just a full screen. And so we're just going to actually do that. Real easy, just Control A. Oops. Control A. Whoops, went the wrong way. And then we push the right key a few times. I think we have to go one. Yeah. Same thing. I'm going. That looks right. Okay. Let's see. We gotta go one more. One more. There we go. So now everything's centered. And basically I have to re-export this. And it's tempting to do it on a grid. Number of rows. What did I want to do? Columns? We want 2 columns, I think. Or no, do we want by rows? Number of columns. 11. I wanted. That's weird. Okay, maybe we're just going to keep it simple. I don't feel like messing with that yet. We don't need JSON right now. Just going to keep it simple. Yeah, overwrite. And then, really nice, we just drag this bad boy in. I have to make sure I put it with the effects, and it'll just overwrite and everything will update. And so I go to Game Art, Dragon Quest, Effect Fire. Didn't want to open it. So now if I run battle, that should be centered. And let's see, it happens. Yeah, like that looks right. We do need to yield our attack on the bat. Like, because we want them being hit to be on a certain frame. So, like, we don't want them flashing and responding to that hit until that frame comes up. So that's going to be another thing that we're going to have to put in the effect data, right? Like, when does the attack land? Because you'll see once that fire starts, they're flashing, right? That's okay for now, but yeah, we want it to look, better than that. Getting a red error, I don't like those. Animation not found fire. Did I not update? Oh, we're not using this anyway, so let's just hide it. Let's save that. Oh, good. We got some slimes. I think Llama needs to do some fighting then. Fire. And fire might end up being an AoE. And we also need a way to center that on the target. And so there's an issue with that because our art is, will not fit the screen if we have to slide this over. And so what I have a fix in mind for that, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I just kind of want to shift gears. So let's look at other things. I think I need a little bit of wine. We already did that. Let's see. A lot of these are things I'm not too concerned with. Categories for spells. Yeah, that could be good later. Diary, draw equipment. I think I want to make, if we open up the main, and let's get this up front. So I think I want to make, we have a town that's not finished, but it's there. You can go to it. You can interact with people. I think what I want is to make our first location. And so in my mind, when I began this project, I liked this idea of trying to recreate Dragon Warrior 4 from memory. And so like that was one of the first really like special memories I have as a kid of playing a video game. And I mean, I just remember like sitting in front of this tiny white CRT screen and playing Dragon Warrior 4 hours on end. And it was very difficult. There were a lot of enemies, a lot of random encounters, and I don't want that for my game, but I want to kind of capture that essence of it. And one of the things I really like about the Dragon Quest series is that they're they're kind of fun, right? They're accessible. It's not like Final Fantasy where it's like super serious and um, everything's at stake constantly, and it's all like super, I don't know, more mature, like anime style, and I think the battles are a lot more complicated. So that appeals to me. I think a lot of things should be focusing more on accessibility. But anyway, so we have, what do we want to do? Maybe this forest, maybe there's like something blocking it. Maybe it gets flooded. I don't know. Because I remember Dragon Warrior 4 is like the cave you have to go through and you go through there. And so I kind of like that idea. Um, and I'll figure out, what's going to happen here. Maybe there's a reason we can't go in there. Like maybe you try and go in the forest and you need a certain item to pass through that way. And like maybe that just becomes a shortcut for later. And that's kind of a good idea. So forest is blocked. I'm gonna do like, let's put story at the top. Like we're story. So forest is blocked. You try to enter, it takes you to a forest scene. Undetermined item required to pass after acquired allowance. Um, So we have the cave. We're gonna have a cave here, and you're gonna go under the river, and then you come out here, and then later on, you'll get some kind of item that'll allow you to come back here more quickly, and that'll be before you can get like teleport or the equivalent of a wing of wyvern or whatever. So yeah, and then this area, I like having these areas at the beginning that are inaccessible because it's putting those mental notes in your head, right? That like, oh, I can't access these yet, but I better check these later on, right? I don't want to forget about these because there's probably something there. So what we need to do, and this is something else that I really enjoy doing, is we need to make more tiles for our tile set. So I think caves we can start putting down here. And do I want to do like a double tile like they do in Dragon, or maybe, yeah, let's riff on it a little bit. I'm not interested in copying Dragon Quest verbatim, but I want it to be clearly influenced by it. So I'm just roughing out that shape. Maybe, it's a cave. Maybe it's imperfect. I know they've got, oops, that's not the right color. We want black. And we can even look at the Dragon Warrior map and riff on it more closely, right? If we can see it. And maybe that's a little too specific. Let's see. Let's pull this up. Maybe this is a high resolution. Let's try. All right, so this is not high resolution, but we kind of see. I might just, let me see if we can get something better. What's she doing? So dragon. Oh, I want to delete the case part. Can we just get a high res map, please? That's all I want right now. Main overworld. This is beautiful. Okay, caves. Where do we start in that game? Like down here? Yeah, see, that's kind of what I had in mind. So back to Sprite. We're gonna kind of do our own thing. Maybe, oops, I'll change my tool. So you kind of have the steps like, oops, getting brighter as you go down. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like they should get darker, right? Like, what if our cave opening is kind of that color, and then the steps just get darker as you go down. Like that. That's kind of more what I think. And I think they need to kind of fall in the darkness more quickly. So I'm actually going to take like that color. We're going to just do that. Something like that. And then this might even be too light. So we're going to do that, I think. And then can we do this? It's really hard to see on that background, but I think it's going to be all right. And then we can do our highlights for the cave like that. Something like that, right? I might even go all the way across, and then we can grab this. Like, I don't know. Why isn't that deleting? Or is it just matching the background? Yeah, it's matching the background. That's why it's so hard to tell. Yeah, so maybe something like that. I don't know. Maybe we do want this all the way across. We can always modify it later, you know. Do something like that. Does this go all the way out? Yeah. And then it needs, I think it needs a background, right? Or we could put it on another layer, but I'm not really a fan of that. So I think we're just gonna do like what I'm doing here with the mountains, where we just give it multiples. But for now, we just need green. I gotta check on my cats real quick. What are you doing? Being good? All right. So we got our first cave. We actually went 3 tiles. That's a pretty wide cave. I wonder if, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move this down. I'm gonna copy it. Well, I meant to do that, yeah. And so what I want to do is just like yoink and squish it. I think that's a bit better, and I can clean that up. You know, it doesn't have to be a perfect oval or anything. But I think it does need to look, it can be cleaned up for sure. And like we want, I don't know. What the hell do I know, right? It's, then we get to do that fun, you know, the steps walking down effect. Yeah, I just want to see what it looks like on the map. And I might actually, I want to grab this dark green. We'll just kind of throw some of that around it. You know, like, I don't know. Maybe 3. Yeah, let's do that. Little asymmetry. Okay, so now we just have to drag that main, the updated main, into our project. And then we have to make that tile. So we do, this is going to be a, excuse me. How do I want to make this? I guess it's going to be an atlas. I don't know what the hell. What happened with my grid here? This is weird. I have no idea why that would have changed. But regardless, we have that. We're going to name this cave entrance. And so now to make a cave, we have to go down here. We click on that. We just have to do both of these separately. And I think maybe we just butt it right up against that. That's nice. Yeah, maybe it's down a bit. Now the only problem is no, that's good. That's pretty cool. So we can work on that. So we have a cave entrance and then the exit, which now I think we can just select it. We can copy it and paste it. And now I have this little thing. And so maybe that, like, I think it'd be cool if it bumps out over here. Yeah. So we want to deselect that. So now we've got some progress happening. All right, so we have to go into world map, and oh no, not a cyclical error. Are you for real? Don't give me that. Where? What's your problem? There's nothing there. Is this just old code that got messed up or something? Player.connect actor. Entity is actor. What? Entities.getChildren. Maybe my actor script got broken at some point. Let's take a look. It doesn't like that. Here's what we're going to do. You don't like that? Here. Yeah, we're going to move it in here. And then you can do, where was that? Did I delete the, didn't I have an export for the characters? I'm pretty confused now. Oh, because I'm in player. We want it in actor. So enum's going to enter signals, and then we can just do this. And I need to find global side characters. So that's fixed. That's fine. Follower. I mean, it's not breaking in there, so. But we need. Why was it working in there and not? I don't really know. We'll figure that one out later. What is this? Text box. Do you even have an arrow? I don't remember that. Oh, for the menu. Okay. What? Okay. I should probably see if our GUI still works. Looks good. Yeah, looks good. We can, yeah. We do have danger turned on, so we're gonna get battles, but it's a good time to test the battle setup. Tofu, you're very weak physically, so yeah. Nice. Good job. One hit. Llama is incredibly powerful. Tofu just defended. Alright, we've got some tactics. Now for testing, let's turn active off. We don't need encounters. So the idea is that we walk up here, the king tells us go west, so we go west. Conveniently, that's how I have my map set up. So we need to do collision checks for the cave entrance. And then there's going to be a position check as well. I do that. I'll show you how I have this set up. What are you? Okay, now it's fine. So we have map locations. I forgot I made that. That's a separate. So here I just put tiles for the map locations and where it should take us. So we can implement that before we do the collision. And so all we have to do for that is look at world map, and we look at these tiles. So it's hard to see with this water, but it's telling us -17, -22, and -16, 22. All right, so we do -17, -22, -16, -22. And then this is going to be like cave, right? Cave. Let's call it SG cave. Or maybe we do Sven's Grove cave. I don't really have my names locked in place. So what the world is doing, and we need more room here. Also, I need to stop printing all of that. So that's obnoxious. Is that in here? It's not in there. Yeah, we don't. Let's get rid of that. Do we have... I think that's in Battle Actor. Yeah. I'll just get rid of that. That's stuff that I use for debugging. So I think I need to add, where I can show you. So map location, solid tiles, map locations. We need to add cave entrance. I gotta double check what I called that. So I just manually, yeah, cave entrance. And we don't need that extra comma, we need it there. And so what happens in my code is that every time the player tries to move, it's checking with this tile map if it can. And so we convert all the data that we need. And then basically what should happen is that we get down to here and, oh, no. Or I think we might need like a separate, let me figure this out real quick. Map location, so they need to be solid. And we also, I think, need const transition tile. And that's just going to be this for now. All right, so these are both going to trigger a collision check, and they're going to trigger the transition. So now, instead of doing that tile get name, we do in transition tile names. I mean, theoretically, we could just check if the cell exists in that the map locations, but this should be okay. So now we should do that. That'll be good. We move, but we need to make that cave. And what do we call it? You get a prize if you remember. I don't know what the prize will be. You'll get a thumbs up from me. Map location. So Sven's Grove Cave. That's going to be our next scene, which I think is going to inherit from a world. Or we're just going to duplicate the world, which is this. And I haven't made it so that it's reusable yet. And I'm hesitant to use inherited scenes because I've had issues with them before. And so I think we're just going to kind of manually do this. And so it's going to be maybe we do cave. No. Okay, don't wait. Did you see it going backwards there? So now we have Sven's Grove Cave. You can see that it's just the world. But now we keep the player. We don't want these guys. We just cut them out. And we can add actors later if we want. I don't think I'm using the floor. Okay, I am using it in this, but that's old code we actually don't need that right now. But so canvas layer, let me think. We changed this. This is not needed in world anymore. Just double checking, none of that. And so we can save that. And I think really I want to copy this, but we're just going to leave it for now. So what I'm going to do is for the cave, and we're going to close out world. I don't need anything that I'm not working on. I do want to sort these. All right, so I'm going to go through. I'm just going to use the bucket tool to remove everything. Our cave, yeah, I was not going to use these tiles. All right, so we have an empty place, just the player. We have a Y sort for all of our actors, which I just call entities. And now we are almost ready to make that cave. What are we missing? What are we missing? Do you know? We're missing cave tiles. And I think I'm just going to keep going down vertically. I might leave a little room. How do I want to handle this? I think, yeah, we want to keep room for these because we can work our way out that way. So we're just going to, we'll just put it down here. All right, so cave, what kind of colors? You know, maybe we're doing some of that for the ground, and we're going to do like, I don't know. We're just getting something like close enough, which reminds me, oh my gosh, we just want to do this. We're going to take this, paste it, drag it down, and then we're going to select this whole area. We can do Shift R and pick these colors, and that's going to remove, right, just in that selected area. It's super handy. I kind of like this dark. Maybe we're going to try that. It's got a little bit of like purple in it, which is kind of nice. I'm a huge fan of purple. And then for the kind of like texture color, maybe that. I don't want it too contrasty. Like, we might even go darker for it. Yeah, let's try that for now. That's kind of nice. So we have our ground. Now we need a wall. And so I'm just going to look at our walls here. Like really, excuse me, the walls don't have to be complicated. And cave wall, I think we're gonna do the same thing. Like place that with, oh wait, from that to, I don't know, maybe should they be a different color or darker? Yeah, why not? We're gonna do Shift R in here. We're gonna replace that and do like, oh, that's kind of nice. We'll figure it out later. All right, so that's, do I have rocks? I have rocks from another game, which I might reuse. Let's see if I can get that up. I have it in my recent, we go down to farming, and then I think it's also called main or just farming. Yeah. Which FYI, okay, if my A-Sprite doesn't crash here, like, holy crap, I can't do a dang thing right now. Let's try it. Oh, of course. You got a giant video playing there, you jerk of a browser. Actually, this is just not working. Maybe I need to like buy the real A-Sprite. Anyway, I think like we could totally use these for in the cave. Like for grasses and stuff. And then I could also copy my water code for the cave, but maybe that's getting too complex for this art style. I'm not sure. We will figure that one out later. So for now, we want to expand this canvas, and we want to go. I forget. Oh, you know what we can do? We can just drag this down. So we do like, so 24, yeah. And okay, that's not what I wanted. Was it because I was on detail? Yeah, so we want the background. Copy that. We're just gonna paste it right in. Oh my gosh. I thought I had just this selected. It copied everything. There we go. And then we just have to remove those colors, the black. Okay. So that's pretty fun. We've got rocks and grass. And it's the same color palette, so everything matches. It's maybe a little too much detail, but you know, for this art style, we're gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna export that, overwrite, minimize, go to our art. And then we just kind of repeat what we did with this tile set, right? Like how we made that new tile. I'm gonna do a bunch of new atlases. So this is gonna be, call it cave floor. Do new atlas. I'm making an atlas because we'll probably have different wall types. So we'll put cave wall and new atlas. Oops, that's all right. Rocks. New atlas grass. Maybe grasses. That doesn't overlap with this, right? Yeah, grass. So we wouldn't want that. That's a handy tip. Hold the Alt key to show your tile, your atlases, and your tile names. So before we start drawing, we want to add cave wall to that, and I think the rocks, which I think I just called rocks. So now we can start making that cave and test that out. So we have, and we might even want to put like cave rocks so that everything's together for the cave. But for now, we're going to enable priority, which, what's going on here? The reason, oh, I'm on the fill tool, maybe that's why. So let's just like fill this window for now, just to get started. So I accidentally pressed that. So we'll fill that, then we can get some cave walls. You know, we need staircases too. So what might this be like? You know, like, yeah, I don't like these walls. I think we're gonna do an auto tile for the walls. So maybe kind of like come in over here, and so maybe I'll just delete that. And you kind of have to go like this, right? So maybe, you know, nothing set in stone. No pun intended. And so maybe there's like, I don't know, maybe you're kind of like pushed here, and then there's like this, and you know, just kind of roughing out what the cave might be like. You know, maybe this is just like a big solid thing. We do the bucket. How do I switch to that? Was it P? You know, we can kind of do this, fill that in, go back to P, something like this, and we can take cave floor, fill that. So, yeah, I mean, this stuff is fun. It's like, you know, finger painting as a kid, just kind of instinctual and, you know, seeing what you like. And so I don't want to make this too difficult of a cave, right? Because no, we don't. Let's do the walls and we just fill in the rest, right? Because it's like maybe we were like this, kind of give them, it's like they got to kind of go out of their way to get to this. Kind of want to think, kind of like bump this out. I'm trying to think like how I can make it kind of organic, not just these like perfect rectangles, right? Because it's just not that interesting. I mean, maybe some areas because it would be like dug out, but I try to keep it kind of organic when I'm doing this stuff. Now this is a good place to think about procgen, procedural generation. I don't know if I like having two of these like that. But for now, we will keep it in. So that takes you there. Maybe there's like this whole area. And so I think maybe the cave will be there. We kind of go like this. Fill all that in. So like maybe there's an optional kind of thing over here. And then we kind of go like this. And this might be too big. Sometimes it's hard to gauge scale. Just kind of brushing that in. But ultimately, I think we want to push the player over like up here maybe. And so you can leave early if you go here. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And then maybe there's like, it's kind of like this. Just like big open. Might need some more like smaller tunnels. But yeah, so it's kind of, and but yeah, ultimately kind of push them up here. And maybe there's like, some walls here. This is totally going to need a auto tile. Something like that. Maybe this is blocked off. Make them go around this. Make that tighter. And yeah, like this is just too much. We don't want to do all that. Something like this. Maybe a little too much for a first cave, but we can always, put it somewhere else in the game. And so once I close this off, which now it is closed off, I can show you how we're going to do that floor. So yeah, maybe your final, maybe we actually put it up here. And so now we just do B and be like, boom, how easy was that? And so I want to, we're going to put the ladder there, upstairs, and then we can go and fix these empty areas and maybe just clean it up. So yeah, and make sure the player, we want them like where they would be dropping in, right? Maybe show the grid. I don't know why they were being hidden on that grid. That was weird. So I'm not sure, but I think this will run. It might crash because of no followers, but yeah, exactly, it did. So I think I have it so that they are kind of like permanent. So if caterpillar movement dot move followers, so I think we need to do. That's an export bar, but it's not showing up. So that's worrisome. All right, do I need to do a reload? So let's see. No, see now they're showing up. See, I hate that. Godot does that all the time. Anyway, not the end of the world, but we definitely need to do like a. Need to go to the player. We need to do a check. And so if how are we doing this? Let's just so we're gonna do if it's not empty, we do that. Because that's just a string. Alright, so we're gonna run that again. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Oh geez. Empty and base null instance. Why is that an instance? It's a node path. Oh, I see. I'm using that. Okay, so we just have to do if header killer movement null. Easy. Hopefully. Hey, Mama, stop. Mama! Get out of there. Scratching the wrong stuff. Alright, so now we're moving. I don't think we need that Y sort anymore. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I think that's something I turned off because we have it on here, but I ended up not needing it. Yeah. Alright, so look at that. We've got our cave. That's kind of nice that the color palette's different from the Dragon Quest ones. And this scale, honestly, it seems pretty good. We need to figure out the background, or I guess it could just be black. But so I want to test out our transitions here. And I should probably start Sir Ragnar, or whatever they're going to be named, closer to that to test. But here we go, moment of truth. -7, 16. Oh, maybe I read that wrong. Maybe it's negative. Okay. And so we want to open up main again. Oh man, I did it again. Oh no, we're good. We're good. So yeah, it is. Oh no, it's -8 and -7. Wait, what's going on? Did this? Oh, I was looking at that one. This was -8 and 7. Okay, so we just have to add that. So we do have that, right? 17, 16. Okay, good. This is 8 and 7 and 16. So let's both go to the cave. Let's go ahead and just move our player closer. All the way down there. I want that grid snap. There we go. That way we don't have to walk all the way up to test it. Look at that, guys. And then we just do the same thing, but here, so when the player walks on that, we go back to the world map, and we'll need to track what position that needs to be. That'll be more functionality. Okay. So that looks good. And then we have to get some cave enemies. All right, keep it simple. Maybe Sir Ragnar finds their first companion here, like a Healy type. Like I said, I do want to riff off of DQ4. This looks pretty good for starters. I think it would be nice if we, like I said before, get that auto tile in. We can smooth out these edges. I've actually got, it's not going to be on this project, it's going to be in the farming one. Like, I could check to see how that would look. So we have gravel, we have, oh, maybe I never made walls. I made a gravel path auto tile, and then I have this river that is set up for pallet cycling. And so we might throw that in there. Let's see. Let's see. I had a cool little death animation too. Anyway. I think that's good for now. I just want to relax. It's Friday night. I don't really feel like working too much right now. So that was a quick session, just about an hour. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. All right, I'll catch you around.